right, guys. Welcome to First and Faloney, the first episode of our new college football show. I'm Donovan Faloney, joined by my co-host Andrew Cooper. How you doing, Andrew?
What's going on, dude?
So this is the first of many episodes here. What we're going to be doing today is going over each of the five major conferences: ACC, SEC, Big 12, Pac-12, and Big 10. And then we'll give our playoff predictions, way too early playoff predictions. Throughout the year, we'll be releasing episodes on Thursday, doing 10 picks roughly a week, comparing ourselves to the experts throughout. So we'll go ahead and jump right in. And before we get started, do you have anything to say, Andrew? Anything about like the?
No, I'm just ready for football to be back.
Yeah,
it's been a long summer. I'm ready for good tailgates and good food. I can tell you that.
Yeah, no, that's definitely right there. I know it'll be 226 days of no college football from January 10th to August 26th. So I know everybody's itching to get started here.
It's very depressing.
Yeah, definitely that. So we'll go ahead and get started with the ACC. What I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and just tell you my rankings. We'll go by division, and then we'll do division winners each, and then conference winners as a whole. We'll start with the Atlantic Division. My rankings, I have Clemson, NC State, Wake Forest, Florida State, Boston College, Louisville, and Syracuse, rounding out that whole division with Clemson winning it at 12-0, NC State at 11-1, and Wake Forest in third at 10-2. What are your thoughts on those?
Well, NC State's probably going to screw it up, as we all know. But I will say probably the best game of the year in the ACC will probably be that Clemson-NC State game, because in all reality, if you think about it, the winner of that I can't say the past 2 years, but NC State's had its shot the past 3 or 4 years, and all they have to do is get by Clemson, but they always mess it up in the end. So, I mean, I do agree. I don't see Clemson going 12-0. I see them having a slip. I just don't think Ungalele is there. I know they're raving on him at camp, him and that new guy, but it's just, I don't know. Wake Forest with the Hartman deal.
Yeah, Hartman had the surgery today or yesterday.
Earlier it was yesterday.
I really hope surgery, but it's early reports is he's only going to be out for a month, so that might not affect their season as much.
Yeah, it might. I mean, I don't know. What's their non-conference looking like? First 4 games. You got that?
Yeah, give me 1 second. Let me pull it up here. Wake Forest. First 4 games: VMI, Vanderbilt, Liberty, then Clemson, and I have them going 3-1 out of that.
Really? You got them? Well, if Hartman's not there, I think the Liberty game is gonna be a doozy.
Well, who does Liberty have now that they don't have Malik Willis? They're still
but you got to think they got Hugh Freeze, and they just got that other big time coach to come help him too. I can't even think of his name right now. I just had it off the top of my head, but I don't think Hugh Freeze got a good thing going down there. I'm gonna go with them going. I want to say 3-2 in that stretch. It'd be 5 games, so I'll take
5
that back.
games. Florida State would be the 5th one. I have them going 4-1. I haven't beaten Florida State. I think Florida State's down until they hire Deion Sanders. They're not gonna do anything.
Well, that or Mark Stoops. I got a feeling he's going to be on his way if Kentucky has a breakout year. If Florida State falters, I think Stoops is going to get that job.
That's
true. But I will tell you, as far who else we got left in that division, that's the top 3.
And then I have Florida State at 6-6, Boston College 4-8, Louisville 4-8, Syracuse 3-9.
I would bump Louisville up ahead of Florida State. I think that quarterback. They got 2 big stars coming back on the offensive line. They did not lose a running back. Between him and Malik Willis in the backfield, scrambling. He's a good passer on the run. I'm telling you, I think out of that conference, out of the Atlantic, the Coastal, whatever it is.
That's Atlantic. Atlantic first, and I think we're both in agreement that we have Clemson coming out with NC State.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Second.
Yeah,
NC State is a close second. As long as there's I have a feeling there's gonna be another Kyle Bambard moment, unfortunately for NC State at that game. It'll be close. I'm cheering for him, but I know you like your boy there, Kyle Bambard. So
Yeah. Well, I'm glad he graduated. Miss him.
all right, so we're both in agreement there. And then on the other side of the ACC in the Coastal, I had this on a little bit tighter. I have 3 teams actually tied at 9-3, with Pitt actually
Wow.
winning the tiebreaker at 9-3. So I have Pitt 9-3, Miami 9-3, Virginia Tech 9-3, and then UVA 8-4, UNC 5-7, Duke 4-8, and then Georgia Tech 2-10. I think Georgia Tech's taking a step back, and I think Duke is going to take a step forward. I think UVA is an 8-4 team. They're going to always range between 5-7 and 8-4. Pitt will take a little bit of a step back without Pickett, but the kid that they have at quarterback, and I can't think slow something, starts with an S, but I think he's going to do well. They just have a really tough start of the season. West Virginia.
Well, they also lost Addison too.
See how they go. I still have them winning. I don't think Miami's there yet. Next year, maybe. So that's my top 3 would be the Pitt, then Miami, then Virginia Tech. One thing college
Virginia Tech
football
really
needs, one thing college football needs, in my opinion, for it to come back is Thursday night primetime games at Lane Stadium, because that place can get bumping. When Frank Beamer was having them roll, it was a tough place to play in the early 2000s.
Man, Virginia Tech at 3. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna have to drop them down. I just don't think Brent Pry. He might. I don't know, but you got to think, man. First year coaches in the ACC really don't have a good year. It usually takes them some the second year, some the third when they get their recruits in. But I don't see Tech. Don't get me wrong; they're going to be competitive. They are, but I think Miami's going to win that side. I really do.
Yeah, a lot of reports are coming out that Miami's
Tyler Van Dyke, man. He's got a cannon. He's good. He's precise. He beat us last year as a true freshman.
A lot of early reports, a lot of analysts have them as being like going above what they're expected to do, and I think they're at 7.5 wins right now. So if they go above that, that'll be above what they're expected. And I could see Miami doing that too. It'd be good for Miami to get back in college football as well, as being one of the powerhouses. ACC desperately needs somebody else besides Clemson continuously. And it looks like NC State might be there, and Pitt maybe, but we need some more teams in that for the ACC to even survive.
Well, I will say, I mean, the ACC did put on a good show in the preseason coaches poll. I mean, what was it, 5 teams, 4 teams in the top 25?
I can't remember off the top of my head. I know.
I want to say Clemson was 4. State was 13. I know Pitt was somewhere up there. I think Wake was somewhere in there. So I think it's 4.
Yeah.
That made the top 25, which is good for the ACC. But I would really like to see the ACC try to, like you said, get at least 2 or 3 solid teams every year vying for a chance to play in the playoffs. I think that would help us a lot as far as getting more TV time, as far as the ESPN or ABC night game. You know what I mean?
Yep. And I think we're both in agreement here as well. Like for the championship game, whether it's Pitt, Clemson's going to beat them both times, and I think they'll go undefeated. I think they'll go undefeated throughout the season, but I think they'll definitely win the ACC and win the ACC championship game.
Yeah, I have Clemson winning the ACC championship game. I don't think they're going to be perfect. I think there is going to be one hiccup for them, but I do have. I'm going to go. Shocker here. I think I'm going to go Clemson and Miami in the championship.
Yep. That's what you had coming out of the Coastal and Atlantic. I think Clemson will win both regardless there. I think DJ takes a step forward, and if he doesn't, then
I can tell you what, that kid that's right behind him is nipping on his heels.
Right.
Dabo or whatever.
Dabo can recruit some quarterbacks, that's for sure. So okay. So we'll move on to the next conference here. Let's go all the way to the West Coast here. We'll go to the Pac-12. Super exciting conference, as we all know. Not this year, but next year, USC and UCLA will, I think it's next year, maybe in 2 years, USC and UCLA will be moving out of that conference. And I think the Pac-12 will be done for within the next 5 years with Arizona State, in Colorado with talks to the Big 12 with Utah as well. But we'll go Pac-12 North here. So we have in order. I have Oregon at 10-2. I have Washington State at 7-5. Cal at 5-7. Oregon State at 5-7. Washington at 3-9. Stanford at 2-10. Oregon is going to win the North Division there and play in that championship game.
Wow, you got Stanford 2-10. Who do you have?
Well, Stanford was 3-9 last year, and I don't foresee them making a comeback right now.
Okay, I do
Especially
agree
with the
with
scandal
Oregon.
that they had. They lost a lot of scholarships that they had, and a bunch of other things as well. I just don't think Stanford is the powerhouse they used to be.
Now, do you think Oregon's first year coach is going to have that
I
going?
do.
I mean, it's not a lot of
There's
competition out there in the Pac-12.
there it isn't, and especially not in the Pac-12 North. State, and so that's a huge hit for him. If I pull up Oregon's schedule here, they have Georgia first, then Eastern Washington, BYU, Washington State, Stanford, Arizona, UCLA, Cal, Colorado, Washington, Utah, and Oregon State. Their really only tough games are BYU, Georgia, and else has either finished at or below 500 last year.
Yeah, well, as we both know, anything can happen on a Saturday. But I do agree with that.
Yeah, so I mean that one's not as exciting as the ACC. I think we can agree the Pac-12 is probably the worst of all the Power Five conferences. But
They play so daggone late, man. Nobody's staying
yeah,
up watching that.
no, and I've watched a couple of Utah's games, and it's unfortunate that they're playing so late because they're good.
Oh, they're very, very exciting. Very
So,
exciting team to watch.
and they're in the South. That's a good segue there. We'll go ahead and talk about the South of the Pac-12 now. And in order, I have Utah at 11-1, USC at 10-2, UCLA 9-3, Colorado 8-4. I think they're going to take a big jump up there. Arizona State 6-6, and then Arizona 1-11. They haven't been good in years, and I don't foresee them changing that.
Yeah, well, screw Lincoln Riley. I hope they have a bad season. I really don't like them.
They're good. They got that transfer
I know
quarterback, and
they got their
that's
wide receiver from freaking Pitt. Yeah.
yeah, they're set up good. I still think Utah's going to come out on top in that
No,
division.
100%, 100%.
But listen to, I mean, USC isn't playing anybody either. Their non-conference is Rice, Fresno State, and Notre Dame. Like
Okay,
I have
well,
them losing
for
to
some reason,
yeah.
the committee always finds a way to stick them in the top 10 every year in
Right.
preseason. I mean, that's whack.
Yeah, and well, yeah, but I think they have I think they're going to be relevant in the next couple of years, especially with the move to the Big
Oh
10.
yeah, no,
They're going to
exactly.
start becoming more and more relevant. Lincoln Riley knows how to recruit college. He can't finish in the big one, but he knows how to get a good record in. So I think it's a win for USC. Another blue blood of college football. Hopefully coming back to prominence here. Maybe some more good Notre Dame
Yeah, well, I'll
USC games in the future.
tell you another team too. UCLA, they can kick rocks. The way they got out of that bowl game against NC State last year, that really hadn't settled good with me. So I hope they
Yep.
falter too.
So in my Pac-12 championship game, I have Utah versus Oregon. Do you agree?
I agree, and I believe I'm going to take Utah in that one.
I do as well. I actually have Utah going undefeated, and I actually have them squeaking into the playoffs, I believe, at number 4. But
Yeah,
that'll be
that's a good one.
more to
Later
come
on.
on that one. Okay, so that was a quick one, not as exciting. Let's go ahead and hit the Big 12. As you can see, or maybe you can't see, I am a new Oklahoma State fan, going there for
Yeah,
graduate school
congratulations.
here. I'm doing my second master's as well. So of course I'm going to cheer for the Cowboys in this division.
Please
Big
don't be like a typical Carolina fan. You got two teams. You got to pick one now. Notre Dame can't be the other.
yeah. No, I actually do have two teams. I'm going to cheer for Notre Dame and Oklahoma State throughout the season, but Big 12 does not have divisions at this time. So I have them all in one row. Last year they didn't have a championship game. I don't think they will this year. But I have Oklahoma State at 11-1, Oklahoma at 10-2, Texas at 10-2, Baylor at 9-3, Iowa State 6-6, West Virginia 6-6, Kansas State 5-7, TCU 4-8, Texas Tech 3-9, and then Kansas 1-11.
So that's a
It's a
tough one.
top heavy, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Because
a tough one because
Oklahoma State's losing their whole secondary on defense, but they have the quarterback who's in the Heisman race right now, Spencer. The dude's a stud. They have pretty much all returning offense, and then Oklahoma's Oklahoma. They're going to recruit people regardless, even though they lost a lot in the transfer portal.
yeah, well, they got Jeff Levy as offensive coordinator, Brent Venables.
Yep. So, and then I think Texas will be back this year, especially with their recruiting of Arch Manning for next year. I
Yeah,
think
but
that's
they're gonna have their hands full. I think it's what, week 1 or 2 against Bama.
week two
That's
against
gonna
Bama.
Yeah, that's gonna be the defining moment of their season. They're gonna get picked apart.
Yep. So who do you have winning the Big 12 then? It's a tough one.
Man, I really like Baylor. I don't know why. I think they really impressed me last
Yeah.
year. I don't really know exactly how much they lost, but I think this one's going to be my wild card. I'm going to go with Baylor winning
I can
the
see
Big
that.
12.
They have what's his Dave Aranda, and
Yeah.
everybody had him rumored to go to USC. He's an LA guy. He should have been the coach at USC. I think that would have been a great hire if they would have done that for the local community. I mean, how many 5-star people come out of LA? Like
Yeah.
they should have had a local guy in and out. That's what Coach JB said on the Pat McAfee show. Credits out to them. But I guess he isn't there. That's good for Baylor. Baylor's a great school. They have a great crowd. Maybe you can jump into the river like Pat did 2 years ago in the cold weather. So,
Oh yeah. I'm taking Baylor now. I don't think Oklahoma. Oklahoma's defense is going to be solid.
Yep.
I mean, they got one of the best defensive minds in the game. Offense is probably going to be the tricky one for me because I don't know how much they really lost when Riley left. I know they lost Caleb Williams, Spencer Rattler. So
Rattler, I think, is overrated, but
yeah, he's arrogant, but I mean he still can play it. I think he just we'll get to that when we get to the SEC. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Baylor now.
all right, sounds good here. We're rolling through these conferences here. Not as exciting. I think ACC, Big Ten, and SEC are like the main schools, it seems, as of late. So we'll go ahead and do Big Ten now. Start with the East. This one's always the tough one because the West always stinks, in my opinion. But I think the East might actually not be as good. They're very top heavy. I have Ohio State at 12-0, Michigan at 10-2, Penn State 8-4, Michigan State 7-5, Maryland 6-6, Indiana and Rutgers both at 3-9. Ohio State winning the East.
Yeah, I think Ohio State's gonna win the East, but I definitely would not sleep on Penn State.
Really? Everybody's saying like this is the year for Franklin. Like if he does not have a good year, he's gone.
Yeah, I can see that, but they still got the quarterback. He can recruit.
He'll be a second year guy.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna slide Penn State in the 2 spot
over Michigan.
Yeah, well, I take that back. I'll keep Michigan at 2, but I think Penn State's gonna upset one of the two.
If they have a whiteout game, that'd be amazing. Like that's the only way that they're going to do it is the whiteout game for one of those two games.
Yeah, but out of all seriousness, nobody's beating Ohio State.
That quarterback's too good, and they lost both their top 2 receivers, but their third guy, Njigma Smith or whatever his name is, he is still a stud. Like he's so fast.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Ohio State's got that.
Yep, agreed. And then in the West, I have Wisconsin 11-1, Iowa 9-3, Minnesota 8-4, Nebraska 8-4, Purdue 7-5, Illinois 3-9, Northwestern 3-9. Tricky for me because I am very, very high on Nebraska this year.
I Scott Frost has been there. No way.
This was his 3rd year. They were 3-9 last year, but 6 of their losses were from 8 points or less. and 4 of those losses, I believe, was on like in the last 2 minutes. So I think I and there have a lot of people coming back. I can see them upsetting like in Oklahoma early because I think they play Oklahoma. I can see them upsetting a lot of people. I can see them going 10-2 or 9-3, but I have them at 8-4, trying to be a little more conservative.
Yeah. I just really bummed everybody's down on Minnesota. I think I think they might be a sleeper. I don't think they're going to be in the 2 spot.
Row the boat with PJ Fleck.
Yeah, I really like Minnesota. Who'd you have in the 2 slot?
Iowa at 9-3.
Hmm. What was Iowa's record last year?
9-3, I believe. 9-3, 8-4, right around there.
9-3.
That's they
Yeah,
always
I'll
finish
leave.
there. Like they're
Yeah,
in for a solid 8-4, 9-3 season.
I think Michigan State will probably. I don't know, man. That's the bottom side, even though it's not really all that great.
Yeah.
Between Michigan State, Iowa, and
Well,
Minnesota.
Michigan State's on the other side.
Oh, is it? No,
Yeah.
okay.
So your teams would be, excuse me, sorry about that. Hold on one second. Your teams would be Wisconsin, Iowa, Minnesota, Nebraska, Purdue, Illinois, Northwestern.
Mm. Yeah,
For
I'll leave
two,
them the
not
same.
like Purdue, I have them at 7-5, but I can see them going even lower than that. Like they lost a lot of pieces this past year, but you never know with Purdue though either, because they could be
Yeah,
good,
they
they could be
definitely.
bad.
No, 100%. Yeah, I'll stick with you on that one. I
Um,
have Ohio State winning
Wisconsin,
that game though.
Wisconsin, Ohio State, and you have Ohio State winning. Yeah, I
Yeah, oh
agree
yeah,
as well.
yeah.
I if there's any year for Ohio State to win the national
It's
championship,
this one.
it's this
It's
year.
yeah.
So, okay, cool. And then the SEC. As you guys can see, we are more ACC focused. Andrew, go ahead and tell them who your favorite ACC team is if they haven't figured it out already.
It's definitely the NC State Wolfpack. I can tell you that.
So that's why we'll probably spend a lot of this season with a couple teams. NC State will probably be perennial on the game picks. Probably your Clemson's, Ohio State's, Alabama's will probably be on there quite a bit as well. So just forewarning you guys for the future as well. We'll go ahead and start with the SEC, and we'll go with the SEC East. Be prepared if a shoe comes flying in from off camera here. My girlfriend went to University of Florida, so she'll be upset when I say some bad stuff about them. But in the East, I have Georgia at 12-0, Tennessee at 10-2, Kentucky at 9-3, Florida at 7-5, South Carolina 6-6, Missouri 4-8, and then Vanderbilt at 9-3.
I don't know, man. That's gonna be a toss up between Tennessee.
Tennessee's good. That Hooker kid, the quarterback,
Uh,
he is
I
great.
just, I think I'd put them in a 3 spot.
And Kentucky up there instead.
I think they'll both finish even. I mean, either way, the SEC is obviously the best conference in
Yeah,
football.
I think it's good that
But
Kentucky's been doing well lately, and Tennessee looks like they seem to be back, especially after last year. They almost beat Alabama. You know, like they've played some good games against tough competition.
yeah, I think they're going to be tied at the end of the year.
You still have Georgia
I
winning.
oh yeah, Kirby, yeah. Nobody's beating the Curbster and the Visor. I can tell you
Yeah.
that.
No, you got to give respect to the national champions as well. They might have lost
I
a
mean, they
lot of
lost.
pieces on
They lost
defense.
a lot of pieces, but they're going to have. They had a lot of young guys that had a lot of playing time last year. That's going to step up and be major contributors. I can tell you. I mean, they still got Stetson Bennett, and he shaved his head, by the way.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, does not have the curls.
Well, Stenson Bennett, like he wasn't even supposed to be your starter last year. It was supposed to be JT Daniels, and he
Oh
took
yeah,
over that starting job once Daniels got hurt. And but that
yeah.
defense was the best defense I think I've seen in
Oh my
years.
god! Especially was it Jordan Davis right up the middle?
Jordan Davis, you had was it N'Kobe Dean, you
Yeah,
had a couple other defensive linemen. That Wyatt was the other one that went higher than Jordan Davis in the draft.
Jordan Davis was a man.
Yeah, he's been crushing it at Eagles camp too. Like
Yeah,
he's
I
been
saw
just
that too.
he's a big dude.
Yeah, yeah. I have Georgia winning
Yep.
that side of the conference.
All right, and then the West of the SEC, I have Alabama 12-0, Texas A&M at 10-2, Arkansas at 8-4, LSU at 8-4, Ole Miss at 8-4, Auburn at 7-5, and then Mississippi State at 5-7. That one was tough for me because Arkansas is bringing back pretty much everybody they have, but their schedule is insane.
Oh, that's brutal.
And
They definitely have.
It might be the toughest schedule in college football.
Yeah, the only thing that worries me, dude, about Texas A&M is I was looking at some stats, and I think they were last. They were pretty far down the bottom in explosive plays. I mean, it was. I just don't think that offense is working under Jimbo. I really don't. I think they get.
They're
Yeah,
recruiting like crazy.
yeah, they recruit like crazy, but I don't know what's going on the offense. I don't know. See, to me, that's the toughest division. You know, Bama's coming out on top of that. I
Yeah,
mean,
but they beat Bama last year. A&M beat Bama last year.
it ain't happening this year. I'm telling you, Bama's going on a warpath. As much as I really hate to say that.
Yeah, I think so as well. I can see LSU being lower than 8-4 as well. I hate Brian Kelly with a passion. And his fake Southern accent on their first pep rally just
Oh, you didn't like that?
No.
Oh, I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Oh gosh. I miss Coach O. Go Tigers. So
Yeah.
we need that back in college football. But yeah, no, I'm
We
with you.
can
This one was
talk about this side of the conference all you want, but really and truly,
It's
you know who's coming
Alabama.
out. Yeah, you know who's
And
coming out.
everybody that I've been seeing as well, Alabama is better than last year, better than 2 years ago. They have Bryce Young coming back, who, in
Well,
my opinion,
the thing
he
with him
probably
is it's going to be the health factor with him.
Yep.
Because
He's smaller.
He's smaller, but I mean, if he gets dinged up, you know what I mean. Anything in the SEC can happen.
Yeah,
I mean,
was it Mike
look what
Anderson or Will Anderson coming off the defensive end for Bama? Who's going to stop him? Oh, you still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, not. I was like, either way. I mean, it's tough.
Yep. Sorry, guys. So we might have some hiccups here every once in a while as well, like that there. But we do just have a couple more minutes remaining. So we both have Georgia versus Bama once again in the SEC championship game. Who do you have coming out on top there?
Much as it really breaks my heart to say it, I've got Bama coming out of that.
Yeah, I do as well. I think it's going to be a good game like it was last year, like they always are. But it's Alabama. It's Nick Saban.
Oh yeah,
If he wins another one, he's the greatest college football coach of all time. Nobody's going to touch him.
yeah. Nah, I got Bama winning that one.
Okay, cool. And then so we have all of our conference winners then in the ACC. We've agreed on everybody. ACC we had Clemson, Pac-12 we had Utah, Big 10 we had Ohio State, SEC we had Alabama, and Big 12 we disagreed on. I had Oklahoma State and you had Baylor.
Yeah, I'm going with the Bears.
Okay. So we have our conference winners, guys. I went ahead and did a final top 10 predictors. This is way too early. They're not going to be right. So don't quote me on any of them. Just kind of fun to see. The top 4 will be my playoffs. And then the top 10, obviously I have the rest of them. I do have 3 honorable mentions before we start. I have Notre Dame at 10-2, Texas A&M at 10-2, and Oregon at 10-3 to be borderline top 10. What do you think of those 3?
Yeah, I mean it's way too early, but I mean, I'll stick with that.
Yep. And then 10, I have Michigan at 10-2, Tennessee at 9 with 10-2, number 8 USC at 12-1, Wisconsin, number 7 Wisconsin at 11-2, and then to finish out before we get to, or we'll go ahead and look at those there 7 through 10: Wisconsin, USC, Tennessee, Michigan. You
Say
think
those one
USC
more
is too
time.
high? Wisconsin, USC, Tennessee, Michigan.
I think USC is too high. I just don't see. I just don't see them. I don't.
I only have them losing one game, and that's in the Pac-12 championship. So
Yeah, I know they got a favorable schedule.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. And then the first two out, a little bit of bias here. It's kind of a coin flip. I have NC State at 6 and then Oklahoma State at 5.
yeah.
So
Well, I can tell
if
you,
that is the game,
you might as well drop.
go
Oh, we
ahead.
getting tickets for that or what?
If that is the game, we
I'm
are
just
going to
gonna
go
tell
ahead
you.
and try to get tickets for Oklahoma State versus NC State, wherever they are.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
that
I
would be
can
the
tell you
game,
what.
right? That'd be a New Year's Day
Yeah,
bowl.
that would definitely be the game, but I can tell you, I don't think that's going to happen.
Get Uncle Mark and Libby to come down there with us as well.
Oh yeah, no, I don't see NC State being that high. I really don't.
I have high hopes for NC State. I
I
think
do
that
too,
if they
man. But
beat
it's too much
Clemson,
hype. But if they beat Clemson,
they're
if
not
they beat
losing.
Clemson, if they beat Clemson, I'll be very, very hopeful. But the only thing that kills NC State is when they have good teams, they always find a way to blow it.
Yep.
And you've known me long enough, and you've watched enough with me. The hype is what kills them. They hype them up. I mean, to
Yep.
be honest with you, that first game with ECU, I don't care what anybody says.
Yep.
So
Looks.
I don't know. I see.
Yeah, ECU plays them tough every year. I agree.
Yeah, and especially if it's in, I think Dowdy Ficklin. If NC State comes out flat-footed, their national championship hopes are gone.
Yeah.
So,
But
I'd
just a few.
have to move NC State to way down.
Still top 10.
Honestly, no. I'm going to say they will finish the year in between where they start, 12 and 13. I think they will have
A bad
one
loss.
or two hiccups, and
They'll have.
that's always a given.
My guess is they'll have
I'm
one
going to
bad.
say
If
they'll
they
be
do,
a two-loss team.
yeah, if they do lose, it'll be one bad loss, and the other loss will be to Clemson.
100%. Now Oklahoma State, yeah. I mean, if their secondary is the only thing that they're lacking,
Yep.
yeah,
That's
with Gundy
they
being down
lost
there,
that. Yeah, Mike Gundy's put up great records. I mean, their offense is going to be great. It's their defense was their highlights last year, and they lost their whole secondary. They got a couple transfers, but it's their offense is going to be led by that.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, you can leave him there. I'll give you that.
Okay, just a few more minutes left here. We do have we're using Zoom, guys, so we only have 40 minutes of free recording here. So we're going to try to finish it here in the next couple minutes. The playoffs, I have Alabama 1, Ohio State 2, Clemson 3, and Georgia 4. I think we get a repeat of the SEC championship game in the first game of the season like we did last year. I think that'll be good. I think Alabama is going to win that, and I think Ohio State's going to beat Clemson. And then Alabama, Ohio State, I I have to go with what's tried and true. I have to say Alabama is going to win the national championship this year.
Yeah, I don't want to say it, but yeah,
I
I
don't
just
either, but it's the
I don't
safe pick
think
and it makes sense.
yeah, I just don't think Georgia is on defense.
Yeah.
I don't. They're tough. They're tough. They're very fundamentally sound, but they lost a lot.
Yep.
So I got Bama winning the championship. To be honest with you, I'm going to take Clemson beating Ohio State.
Oh.
I think if Clemson, if I think honestly, if Clemson plays their cards right and they stay healthy with that two-headed monster they have in the backfield, they got Brian Brees coming back. They got a good defense. I think the only thing that's lacking there is the wide receivers. I know the coaching staff is going to be the big for me, but you're going to be able to figure that out week one. I'm going to take Clemson. I think Clemson's going to have a revenge year as well. I think it's going to be. Yeah, I think it's going to be Bama Clemson, just like old times, but I have Bama winning.
Yeah. I think we agree with that as well. Well, guys, that's the show for today. We gave our SEC or our Power Five conference predictions. I threw in Notre Dame as well as a 10-2 as an extra one for you too. Going forward, Coop and I will be recording early in the week, and then we will be, or I will be posting the videos most likely sometime on Thursday, probably Thursday around noon. So look for our new videos each week, Thursday at noon. The first one being right before week 0, which will be another 2 weeks, or on the 25th will be the second episode will be released. Week 0, we actually have some decent games for week 0. But our big show will be for week 1.
First two. A lot of good football is going to be played the first 2.5, 3 weeks.
Yep. So I think so as well. Week 0 through week 3. I think the first 4 weeks of the season will be pretty good, pretty interesting. Friends and family, if you guys are watching this as well, if you want to be guest pickers throughout the season, please reach out to me personally, or reach out to our Instagram at First and Faloney. I will be gladly to set up some time if you guys are serious about picking, see if you can go up against us too. And we'll kind of do it like college game day, guys. Thanks for everything. And
by the way, October the 27th, we got to get our picks in early because I'm going to be at the game that Thursday.
All right, sounds good. Yes, we will do that here. All right, guys, thanks for everything here. We appreciate it.